This video is going to need a disclaimer. Hey everybody, it's Trish, and I decided that I wanted to do a book tag today. And the book tag that I'm going to do is unpopular opinions, because really, who doesn't like to share their unpopular opinions? Just a couple of things before we get started. First of all, don't mind the mess on the bed in the background. I'm trying to reorganize some things, so that's the reason for that. The second thing I wanted to mention is a disclaimer, just to say that these are my opinions and this tag in this video is not meant to offend anybody. If you loved these books or if you didn't like these books, that's okay. I'm not telling you that you can't or that you have to. These are just my personal opinions on the books or series in this video. So let's get started. The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. For me, that series is Divergent. The first book was fine. It was interesting and it was okay, and it just kind of progressively got more boring since then. I didn't feel any kind of attachment to any of the characters or feel some kind of deep sadness when any of them got hurt or whatever. Maybe that makes me a bad person. I thought that both Trish and Four were pretty boring, and Four especially had the personality of plain oatmeal. Don't hate me for that. The second question is a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. For me, that's the Maze Runner series by James Dashner. Say what you will, I thought it was a lot of fun and it was really action-packed and it kept going and it was very fast-paced. I can understand why a lot of people disliked it, but I, on the other hand, loved all the reasons that people disliked it. I liked the fact that there was a lot more questions and answers. I liked the fact that it ended in kind of an open, make your own ending kind of way. It was left to the reader's imagination. I also like the fact that there was little to no romance at all in the series. So that was kind of a nice, refreshing take. Third question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you didn't want them to, or an OTP that you did not like. I'm gonna go with the latter, an OTP I didn't like. I absolutely did not like Bella and Edward at all. I don't even really like Twilight, but definitely Bella and Edward, because there was just nothing about their relationship that was good, nothing about it that was appealing, and maybe it was because I was older and in my 20s when I read Twilight, but just no. The next question is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for. For me, that's historical fiction. I don't even really know if that's necessarily a popular genre, but it's not one that I read a whole lot, because I just don't enjoy it and I find it to be really boring at times. The fifth question is a beloved or popular character that you do not like. Now, this is a little bit tricky because I don't necessarily dislike, and the dogs are barking, hang on. I don't necessarily dislike this character or hate this character by any means, but the character that I don't understand the love for is Will Herondale from The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I'm waiting for tomatoes to be thrown at me. I don't necessarily understand the undying love for Will Herondale because he was such a jerk through most of the series. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because I loved Jem. Jem was my guy, okay? He was my dude. The sixth question is a popular author that you can't seem to get into. I don't really have one of those. I mean, most of the authors that I've been reading, I've been pretty good with, but I think one of the authors that I may never get into is Orson Scott Card, who wrote Ender's Game, because he kind of turns me off with his personality. Number 7 is a popular book trope that you are tired of seeing, such as Lost Princess, Love Triangle, Corrupt Government. For me personally, I'm pretty tired of love triangles. Most of the time I think they're just unnecessary and that one of the characters is completely unnecessary to the plot. There are some that work out pretty well, such as the one in The Infernal Devices. That was a love triangle I didn't mind, and mostly because, spoiler alert, Tessa got to be with both Will and Jem, and she got to spend a whole lifetime with Will, and now she gets to spend a whole lifetime with Jem. So that kind of a love triangle doesn't bother me. Most others really, really do though. The 8th question is a popular series that you have no interest in reading. For me, that is the Selection series by Kira Cass. I've read the synopsis on the series and I've watched a couple booktube videos on it, but I really don't think it's anything that I would be interested in. So that is probably a series that I will never read. And the final question is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie. Which book or series adaptation did you enjoy more than the book series? And I really almost hate to answer this because I really feel like I'm going to get rocks thrown at me for this. Please do not hate me for this, but Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I'm sorry, I really enjoy the show so much more than I do the books. I was able to get through the first book and the second book and halfway through the third book before I just couldn't do it anymore. I guess when it comes to this, it just didn't appeal to me, and I just found it really boring, but the show is so much better and so much more action-packed, in my personal opinion. In my very, very personal opinion. But to anyone that loves Game of Thrones, good on you. It's good to know that you guys can get through this, and I am probably in the 1 percentile of people that does not enjoy the book series nearly as much as the TV series. So that's it for this book tag, and please, like I said, don't take anything that I've said here personally. This was not to bash any of the authors or the books or your personal opinion. These were just my opinion, and I really enjoyed doing this tag because who doesn't love to share their unpopular opinions? So that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!